Hey, to life.
To love.
Hey, love.
Yes,
Oh,
to money.
Yeah, more money.
To fashion.
Everything.
To everything good.
I saw a tweet about how in the choir they always bring artists that can't sing. And I said, yeah, it gave me flashbacks.
So long as you have a heart for God.
This heart needs to go and sit in the audience. Sit in the audience, please, with that heart. You can still sing in the audience now.
So many mistakes that I made along the way in terms of trying to do it all myself. I guess I kind of went into it in a thing of, okay, I'll start and then the team will come.
Yeah, the way this life is set up.
The team didn't come.
I'm happy that I started my podcast, especially after I got my job. Okay. But if I started it when I was on 9 months of unemployment, hey, how would I pay for the studio time?
Yeah.
With what money? Everything costs money, even recording from home.
When you're putting in and you're not getting out, it can be frustrating. And like you said, that's where the passion comes in. And I honestly don't blame anyone for being like, you know what, let me just close the creativity for now and focus on stability and come back. There's absolutely nothing wrong with pulling back, getting your finances together, making sure that you're in a better place.
Chunks of life, chunks of fashion, chunks of entertainment, chunks of relationships. So give me some more, give me some more, give me some more. Give me some more, give me some more, give me some more.
Hi guys, welcome back to the MoChunks show and welcome to another installment of Chit Chat with Mo, where we have controversial debates, honest conversation, incredible guest stories and so much more. And in today's episode, I'm going to be talking to my amazing friend, Manny. We're going to be hashing out a lot of things surrounding the creative journey, downscaling, upscaling, successes, failures, when to give up on a dream, and all the in-betweens of creative ventures. Let's get straight into this episode. Hey, let's just hold on. Let me just collect my pillow. And just... Thank you. It's the classic, man. Come on. It's the Classic Manny. My very good friend Manny is in the building today, and we're about to have a conversation with him about just so many different things. I'm not actually sure what I'm going to call the video because Spirit will guide us. Spirit lead me where my... We're actually going to give you some style cam. Let's quickly go to style cam.
Hey, I'm happy I came prepared. Zara.
Love it.
I think ASOS.
Okay.
Yeah, for time. I think ASOS too.
Okay.
I think ASOS. I love ASOS.
You love ASOS. Okay, love it. Give us a 12. Turn around. Yeah. And now we're back. Okay, so me and Manny are actually drinking some Sangria. I discovered this drink on my trip chairs to life.
Hey, to life.
To love.
Hey, love.
Yes, to money.
Yeah, more money.
To fashion.
Everything.
To everything good, everything crisp, everything nice. Wonderful. I discovered this drink on my trip to Barcelona.
Oh, this tastes very rich.
Right?
That tastes
right? Like after a long day, I just like put this in a glass. I know you're not meant to put this amount of because people are very like you're only meant to put a little bit of, but yeah. But I love a sangria. I discovered this on my trip to Barcelona and I've been obsessed since. Oh. And then hubby, like, I don't know where he found it. He won't tell me the shop where he found it.
That's exclusive.
My husband and romance.
Oh, no, I love that. So cute.
They're like this. But anyway, Manny, thank you so much for joining me today. You look good. All this beard gang that we're now doing.
It was COVID that made me get a beard, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep it. So,
beard gang?
I love it. I love it.
It's fantastic. Well me and Manny go way back, don't we? From like when, the creative scene in the UK, the Black British UK creative scene kind of began. And that was a very interesting thing to kind of go through, wasn't it? And I think a lot. If I start to talk, me and Manny are very musical, so you're going to hear a lot of yes, literally like. Well, if you think I'm bad when it comes to my world is a musical, wait till you meet Manny because we both have backgrounds in like choirs, isn't it?
I was talking about that yesterday because I saw a tweet about how in the choir they always bring artists that can't sing, and I said, yeah, it gave me flashbacks. I'm sure you can agree.
So long as you have a heart of gold for God.
This heart needs to go and sit in the audience. in the audience, please, with that heart. You can still sing in the audience now.
It's true, you can worship God from the audience. I don't know why you need to be on the screen.
So tone deaf, oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Gosh. But speaking of tones and tone deaf and things kind of going left. Yeah, you see how I did that segue? Things going left. The creative scene, Black British creative scene, it's changed over the years, hasn't it?
It has.
I think the community has changed. I think the amount of us that kind of stayed the course has changed as well. What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like the passion is not there as much like before.
Yeah.
And I think people, especially people that started with us, have now moved on to other things, maybe within the creative scene, but not necessarily like YouTube or podcasting. They've gone more behind the scenes. And I can't really blame them, because I feel like it's tough for us in this scene to actually grow beyond a certain level sometimes. Yeah. I feel like you have to like compromise your integrity, your authenticity. And it's hard for people like us, child. I just always say true to who we are.
Like want to be real and stuff like that. Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. And like you said, like a lot of people have moved on from like the YouTube scene. Some of us we're still there and prodding on. Like I love YouTube so much. I think it's such a brilliant platform for if you want to share like recipes, if you want to share your life. It's just amazing for long form content. Excuse me, the sangria is getting to me. But I feel like short form content has kind of taken over recently. So like the TikToks and like the TikToks are talking and the reels are reeling on Instagram, and it's kind of like everyone's attention span, or like the majority of people, it seems like the attention span is like reducing a lot. I guess, which is why a lot of brands and a lot of platforms are trying to maneuver towards that side. And a lot of people that started on YouTube are now focusing more on Instagram and TikTok, which is like, it's so sad, because it's like, I still love YouTube.
Yeah, but I feel like I can relate to that short attention, because let's bear in mind, I'm a creator, but also a consumer as well, an audience. So I feel like I've noticed how even my own attention span has kind of gone downhill. Right. So I feel like I'm even like TikTok, so I'm trying to do 10 minutes. I can't do 10 minutes. Please stick to the 3 minutes max, because it's hard. It's actually really tough to. I think because we're working, so I've got families now. Like a wife now, can't come to see. So like there's so much to do. So I feel like, but I still love that podcasting, YouTube, where I can even with YouTube Premium, you can even like listen to just the sound as well. So even like your video, I was watching it whilst I was working. And I still love that, having that kind of feel like you've got a friend next to you. It doesn't make sense.
So I think that's the thing about long form videos as well. You can do multiple things. Absolutely. And I think perhaps that's why podcasting has kind of taken over recently, because you can do so much. Even at work, you can have your headphones in. And you just carry on with your work. It
gets you through the day, like, because like let's say an average episode is like an hour, and then working hours are about 6 hours, 5 hours, whatever, 6-7 hours I should say. So I feel like you can listen to like 5 episodes.
So what made you? Because obviously like you were like, you know, YouTube star. We all were YouTube stars at the beginning. Like that was our thing before TikTok, before YouTubing was cool. Before it was like content creation. No, seriously, before content creation was a thing that could be monetized. I think we didn't really come into it for money, did we?
No. Like, I think at that time, but when I joined, I should say, it was a year or two before we could start making money from it. And I feel like it would be easier like, to meet that threshold. And I remember there was a whole thing that happened where I think they kind of increased the requirements, and then everyone lost it. I think since that, that was the point where I feel people stopped doing YouTube. Like, you're not going to make money here, then what am I here for?
I guess if you already monetized, you wouldn't have minded. But if you weren't monetized at the time, but it doesn't take that long to get monetized, you know. It sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's actually, if you've got... Yes, and I think that's what YouTube was trying to stamp out at the time. Because I think they realized that people... People were just in it for the money rather than the passion. But there's nothing wrong with money, though. Like there's nothing wrong with coming into the game.
But I think passion is what you need to keep on going. Because even as a podcaster now... There's times where I want to quit. Like, because you feel like there's so much where I go to being a creative, whether it's YouTube, podcasting, being a musician, whatever. Like, and you feel like if you're not seeing that growth, you feel like, let me give up. But the passion is what to keep you going. That's what really kept me going.
But you kind of departed from YouTube a little bit. I haven't seen you upload since like 2 years ago. But then again, you've dominated, I think, the podcasting space, which is like a really nice transition. What made you kind of decide to do that? And then also like, what made you do that?
I feel like with YouTube, I felt a bit stagnant. I felt like I couldn't really do beyond what I was doing. At that time I was doing vlogging. I was doing like style here and there. do like sit down videos. But I wanted to but I wanted to do beyond that as well. Like maybe have more unfiltered, honest conversation. I feel like with YouTube, you're starting to even censor people as well when it came to like what you can talk about, what language you can use. So I feel at that time I was like, I want to just go on a platform where I can talk for as long as I want to. But that one came with challenges as well, which I can get to later on. But the challenges of that, when you're going from YouTube, that's like a 10, 20-minute video to now have to do an hour content, there's a difference. Like you have to know how to like communicate, carry on a conversation. But I've really enjoyed the process of doing podcasting because I feel like it's a bit more free. You have to get your head on all the time, get a haircut. You can just sit in your bedroom, hold the mic close to you and be talking. That pressure as a man to be looking good 24/7.
Even this like makeup, getting your makeup done. This is why I stand people like Zizi Mills, you know. Zizi Mills literally just comes and she's such a beautiful woman. And I'm sure like more girls are beautiful, but we don't have the confidence to do what she does. Like sometimes she wears makeup, but like most of the time she's just herself. It's more about her work. Whereas, so many of us are like so consumed with the aesthetic. Like I told you, like I wasn't replying your messages over the weekend because we were trying to figure out the set. Like I was really like in bed just thinking, oh, how am I going to make it work? You know,
No, but you've done really well.
Thank you. But it's not about the aesthetic, is it? It works. It contributes, but also there's like the actual talent and the actual work and the actual creativity. Like that's why, like whenever I see Zizi, I'm like, wow, like I wish I had that confidence to just.
I understand, child. So tough. Like, there's so much to consider when it comes to like the glam.
Because beauty sells, money. Let's not lie.
That's what society has done. It's made beauty the same. I feel like I'm happy to see those down, and that I feel like regardless, just do what you can. I respect that. Like whatever makes you feel comfortable, confident.
So recently, I've kind of like downscaled myself. You know, I downscaled my channel from MoChunks TV to just MoChunks. And, you know, for a long time, MoChunks TV was, you know, and still is. It's just a dream that I've kind of put on the back burner for now, but it's meant to be like a multi-series platform. And if you're from my personal channel, you would have heard this so many times. Oh, man, this is a new channel, by the way.
Hey!
So we're moving the show to its own platform. The way YouTube has changed a lot recently is that it's important to niche down.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So sometimes your subscribers have come to you for a certain kind of content and then you're doing vlogs. And that's why sometimes you see the discrepancies within the views. Like you get maybe like 20k here and then like 2k. And it's like, where did everyone go? And it's because they actually subscribed for that. Or they subscribed for that. So it's kind of like attracting. So we're trying to niche down. So this is a new channel.
Congrats.
Thank you. What was I going with that? Multi-series platform? Yeah, so if you're from my personal channel, you would have heard this so many times. Like I've said it, like you're probably rolling your eyes right now. You're probably rolling your eyes right now because you've heard this. Like MoChunks TV was meant to be like a multi-series platform with different talk shows. So why do we love love quiz?
I love
What's the motive? Remember we did Creative Con, it's like an event series.
Never forget that.
So that's what I wanted, all of that on like MoChunks TV. And then like lockdown happened. And all I had was myself again, and I had to key into that, or not that I had to, I just found myself naturally keying into myself as a personal brand again. And I really, really loved that. And I was like, wait, I used to do this before, you know?
Yeah.
And then I remembered, before the evolving, before everything changed, I remember that there was a MoChunks before there was a MoChunks TV.
Yeah.
And so that's when I can't do MoChunks TV right now because I don't have my team around me. We lost the studio that we used to create content in. So I just like, okay, let me just downscale this back into MoChunks. I realized as well, so many mistakes that I made along the way in terms of trying to do it all myself. I guess I kind of went into it in a thing of, okay, I'll start and then the team will come. But the team was...
the way this life is set up.
The team didn't come.
I understand. But I can relate to what you said about starting in lockdown as well, because I started my podcast the week before lockdown.
Right.
Well, because we didn't know what was going to happen. And I said, hey, God, the studio I was going to use as well, similar to you as well. The studio I'm going to use, I had to start recording from home, had to invest in a mic, which I'm happy that I did because I was able to have it creative control. If you rely on the studio too much as well, you can't really go with the flow of how you want to do it as well. So I can really relate with that as well.
So you record at home now as well?
I record from home now, Sometimes Zoom with guests. We should have got a mic at least or a good earphone where they can have good quality. That matters. It matters. This is why I always ask them, do you have maybe like an earphone? Do you have a mic? You can use your phone? I think if you use a phone at least, that's even fine. But if you're using a laptop, even like a HP, mess up. It's a big mess up.
Even I was trying to do the over the headphone interviews, but it only worked nicely when the other person also had equipment. So when they didn't, I say all that to say that there's nothing wrong with like pivoting as a creative and like sometimes downscaling, because like in literal terms it is a downscale, but I think it's an upscale in a sense of I'm now able to focus in more on the things, you know, that I actually want to do and do them well. So like I said, the team didn't come.
Yeah.
Money! No money, so no, money was like, oh.
I know. I really empathize that because I feel like with me, I know I could be more consistent if I had an editor at least. Because editing a podcast, especially with my fast talking self, it's not easy. But I feel like, because that's a bit of an insecurity as well, I don't want someone to actually hear the raw audio and hear I'm doing weird for free and they love us.
No, literally, I always tell anyone that's edited for me, like I've had a few people who, as time has gone on, I was saying, look, I have an accent. Sometimes I have an accent. Sometimes it comes out and I change it to British, a little bit more British.
That's what makes you though.
Exactly. But sometimes the H factor, you know, that.
I love it all.
It comes out, I'm like, look, if I just say, just understand what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying anything. Anything.
I feel like there's a beauty in that. I feel like actually, so I think keep it in.
No, sometimes I do. I think the subscribers do love that as well. So now I'm at a stage. It's not all doom and gloom, and this is probably the part that, you know, my subscribers haven't heard so far, and I've been kind of rooting for and praying, because I have people that literally email and DM me saying, I'm praying for you, like I see your struggles, like I can't wait till you get there, and so thank you. We're getting there.
That's something that made me emotional. I don't want to get, because you know what, as I said, I've had times where I want to just quit the podcast, but sometimes someone will send like a random DM, they don't know that it's actually a perfect timing, because it's not easy. It is not easy at all being a creative, like especially when you're working. When you're working 9 to 5. No, but I'm so grateful as well.
I suppose they're amazing. I feel like they're very sent by God, especially when you're like, I mean, we have very like authentic personalities, and that's very into like our personal brands as well as our shows. Check out the Classic Manny Show, and it's like, you know, I think our subscribers and those that listen to us, that resonates with them. And I feel like sometimes it's like God is like, you send them a message, you know, because you need it in that moment. I think it was somebody that said to me just yesterday, I know you're facing some difficulties, but just push through. And that was when I was trying to sort out the set.
Simple stuff like it's a two-line word, like that can just change your day for the better and make you feel like I can do this.
I think this stage of my life now, getting older, post 25, I've been trying to, you know.
I was not prepared for this. I was not prepared for 25 plus. Saving the bills, the vision, the dreams.
Let's get the bill per.
Otherwise, my friend Mira, shout out to her, Mira. She loves you. Literally, so shout out to her.
Listen, the bills that come with adulting. Sometimes you just have to. You know those memes that you saw on Twitter when you were growing up and you laughed at them. You didn't really understand. There was one of one lady. There was one of one lady who was drinking wine and she had her hand there like this. And we used to laugh at those things, but now I get it.
I get it. No, like if I knew this how adulthood would be, I would have enjoyed my childhood even more.
I would have enjoyed uni more.
Yeah, I wish I could have moved out during that time. I commuted, so from North London to UH to Hertfordshire.
Who sent you?
My mother sent me.
Hello, Auntie.
Hello, Auntie.
No one said this was what adulting was going to be like, but we come on this side now and it's like you can't just chase your dreams like a dreamer anymore. There's an element of dreaming, but now you have to put some strategy behind it, basically is what I'm trying to say. So, you know, bills, life goals, you have to save, you have to look good.
Listen.
You know, you see your peers.
Looking good, smelling good, feeling good.
They're carrying nice shoe, nice bag. Nice shoe and bag. And you carry his Primark. Nothing's wrong with Primark, but there's some gatherings that you go to that will make you reevaluate your life, you know? Like, wait, okay. Nobody told me that we've upgraded like this.
Like, if it's Chicky Zara now, Zara's so expensive. Jesus.
You look around, and it's not to say give in to peer pressure or like try and wear Balenciaga if Balenciaga is not really your thing. Not everybody wears designer. It's not for everybody, but at least you want to look good. In the Yoruba language, we call it those of you that are Nigerian will know what I'm trying to say. It's like you want to fit in with your friends, with your peers. You want to, like, your peers are looking nice. They're now shopping in these stores. You too, you want to upgrade your lifestyle, upgrade your wardrobe. I say all that to say that sometimes people will motivate you to be better, basically, is what I'm trying to say, with your finances, to level up mentally, spiritually, physically, everything emotionally. So I've been in those kind of places and I've been like, okay, time is actually ticking. And as much as I love my dreams and I want to immerse myself in it fully, which is what I've done over the last 5 years or so.
I think even longer, if we even include the channel before you did MoChunks.
Yeah. But remember, I was working part-time then.
Yeah.
I've been freelance for like 3 to 5 years.
Yes.
So like I've just been doing content creation. At some point I did like Anu Media, which is like my production company. So I did that business. I was running a lot of that, but that was the brokest year of my life. Yes, I just about made rent and but it wasn't a good place to be. Like always wondering where the next is gonna come from. So like I had a few things had to change, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, because you also got a 9 to 5 as well, right? You're like, what was that kind of process?
I'm happy that I started my podcast, especially after I got my job. But if I started it when I was my 9 months of unemployment, hey, how would I pay for the studio time? With what money? Everything costs money. Even recording from home, that mic was like a good 60. If you want to get a good quality, long-lasting one, it's probably even plus of that as well. You're investing, but I feel like when you have a vision, again, when you're consistent as well, it will definitely be worth it. I think like what you're doing now is worth it. So I'm really proud of you. I'm so proud, honestly.
I'm proud of you too. I'm so proud of you. See the harmonies.
You.
Manny, don't kill me. Honestly, you need to put some strategy behind it, and I think, like you said, with a lot of creatives that started off in the scene did go on to get jobs. Some didn't come back, unfortunately.
I get it.
I do get it. When something isn't, when you're putting in and you're not getting out, it can be frustrating. And like you said, that's where the passion comes in. And I honestly don't blame anyone for being like, you know what, let me just close the creativity for now and focus on stability and come back. There's absolutely nothing wrong with pulling back, getting your finances together, making sure that you're in a better place, coming, even sharing about your 9 to 5. I really, like I said to my subscribers on my personal channel, Ijoma Koila, she's a scientist, brilliant lady, and she still does content creation. So it's like you can do both. It's just a matter, and she has a team around her as well. That's the beauty of having a team that you can delegate to, and that kind of makes the dream work.
Love that.
Yeah, and there's another lady, I think her name is Elizabeth. She's like she's a banker. Oh, brilliant. So many black British creatives are doing amazing things. And it's like for so long I was putting myself in bondage. I was saying, I have to be freelance, I have to be here 24/7, but like I got really burnt out. Like I hate editing now.
That burnout feeling. I read a tweet how it takes years to recover from a burnout. I said yes. Because we're actually still in the moment of creation. Like even when I get home, try and record a new episode. Like, if I don't record now, I'm not going to next week. I know that with work, especially working in bank as well. Try. I mean, that 9 to 5 alone, there's so many things to do. And if you're doing overtime, forget about it.
I mean, there's pros and cons to it. Like, I think the biggest con is that time. You're not as flexible as you usually would be if you were freelance. But I think a massive pro of working a 9 to 5 is money. Like you need money to fund these things that you're seeing, and a team around you, and being able to delegate. And I feel so strongly that you can grow even faster with people around you, rather than when you're trying to do it by yourself. It's kind of like the theory of multiplication or whatever that is that's kind of coming to mind. But like what would you say it's been like for you working as well as creativity?
It has been a challenge. So I think I'm very self-aware enough to know that if I do it every single week, the burnout will be times 100. Right. So I do every other week. I think there's been times where I've been cheeky and maybe missed an extra week. There's consequence that comes with that. Like
consequences.
Consequences. you know, I feel like you can end up losing listeners because they people like podcasts as well. They want to go on Tuesday. I upload on Tuesday sometimes. I post on Tuesday. So when I post on Tuesdays, they're expecting on Tuesday morning it's an episode. Yeah. When they miss it and then they miss it again next week, it's like, okay, is he serious? All that kind of stuff. Whilst you've got other podcasters who, if they have a team or not, they're still doing it every week as well. So it's tough. It's really tough. And I'm trying to doing promotion. Of course, doing the emails. Oh my God, editing. I hate editing now. Recording is nice. I actually enjoy recording, but the editing.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to like fund your creative ventures with like a creative business? Because I did that. And I was so broke that year.
Would the Creates Con be a good example of that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into that, child.
Okay, so that was like a business venture. Okay, talk to me.
Let's get into that. What's Doja Cat? Get into it, yeah. So, I launched it in 2018.
Okay, tell them again, what is it?
The Creators Con. Yes, I started Creators Con in 2018. So it's a platform where I'm gonna like big up creators, which I think I still do now with my personal brand, to be honest. So I feel like that's very you. Yeah, so it's from within anyway. So I wanted to create that, which they had a good launch, but the money that goes into events and especially from your own pocket as well, and of course. It was crazy, and I think when you don't have that knowledge as well when it comes to the cost of doing events, all kind of stuff, it's a big mess up. Yeah. So I think it was a good learning experience to just know that have a budget and have some change on the side as well, because especially when they be consistent with events as well, and knowing how to price your tickets. But I think it was a good experience. I don't regret it because it's a good experience, but I wish I knew the things that I now know.
Yeah, things we wish we knew as we were coming up, isn't it?
So many things I wish I knew.
And that's something about a community, isn't it? Like, I feel like the behind the scenes of how things work, we're not as knowledgeable as, in some cases, as some other race. Some of us are not as knowledgeable, especially like if you're like first generation, maybe your parents were immigrants. Yes. My mom and dad are immigrants, so they didn't really know the system. Yeah. So we've had to kind of learn. Listen. Do you understand? So we've had to make a lot of mistakes, I believe.
Yeah, and even when we talk about our dreams, we're like, what is that? And then when I started my channel, I was like, what is a YouTube? Because I used my last student finance money to purchase my camera.
Are we living the same life?
This after first year, I remember I got that camera, was a Canon 600D or something like that. That was my first camera. I never used my mom was like, you can use it to go on holiday. That camera helped me get through YouTube to the point where I can now do podcasts, give it opportunities that I'm really grateful for. I feel like I could be a little bit further, more consistent, but I'm grateful for where I am now. I'm learning to be grateful in the now.
And I think it was Sarah Destiny. I always used to say this in my videos. She kind of said, she always says, imagine a room full of X, whatever your subscribers is. Imagine a room full of 20,000 subscribers. Imagine it's like that is a lot of people kind of supporting your dreams. But like similar to you, I also like went into a business venture and new media productions, and that was really brilliant as well. Like it's just that the money wasn't consistent. It was kind of like that anxiety of when's the next job gonna come from, and they did come, but it's like it would come and the money would go whoosh. You know,
constant investment. Literally, you're always pouring into it.
And I do believe those are seeds. Yeah. I strongly believe those are seeds for like this massive harvest, you know, and only God knows when that is.
The thing that when it comes to you, I can see you doing this for a long time and just growing and coming back. I feel like keep on doing what you're doing now, because where you're gonna go, I don't think you're ready. Listen, I feel it's gonna be beyond your imagination. Amen. So just keep on going. I can see your TV show. Oh, God. I know what you spoke about, even when I go to Nigeria. I can see you even doing being here in Nigeria. So just keep on going.
Like little trips.
Listen, come back. I
do believe God has placed me in the UK for a reason, because I remember I was so hesitant to come, but like going to Leicester and meeting so many amazing people, and it's just like meeting my husband, meeting all my amazing friends. I feel like it is all part of God's plan, but it's like something keeps pulling me in that direction. I think there's something there in Nigeria. I don't know. It's not to live, but I think God. I think God will orchestrate whatever that is. And we'll come and testify again. But business venture, didn't really know where the money was coming from. It did give me flexibility though, in terms of I was available to kind of pump into the dream, but like I said, got burnt out, and which kind of brings me on to like, I guess, like a closing point, which is like when to give up on a dream.
When did you give up on a dream?
Because it's like, I think there's been so many times along this journey where I've been like, is this for me? However, there have been moments that were very pivotal that I've been like, this is for me. You know, do you have those moments?
Absolutely. I feel like when people tell me, oh, you put me to this, I'm a pop culture podcast. So people say, oh, you put me onto this artist, even if it's a UK artist or American artist.
You're very good at that.
Oh, thank you so much.
You are.
No, but when I get those messages, I'm like, you know what? Okay, this is my calling, because especially as black creators and black musicians, they go through a lot as well in terms of, you know, being platformed like the white artists, all that kind of stuff. So it's good to have that word of mouth. Word of mouth is very powerful. It's a calling, you know, to be able to like just use your personality, authenticity to just build an audience. Like there's nothing greater than that. So.
Yeah. There's been so many times where I've been like, I don't know. And then there's been a few moments like since in lockdown. I don't know. I think lockdown was a really interesting time for creatives, because a lot of creatives were like, you know, either just booming into. It was their time.
Some didn't make it out after the feed, but some also came through. Like, I'm happy for everyone that's here. I've learned from the experience. It's all part of it.
Yeah.
No,
Money's so funny. Money's like,
it's hard being a creative. Like, it's not easy.
Yeah. But honestly, the journey, I think, is so fruitful. Like, there's so many things that being a creative has brought me. Like, I've had opportunities to write books. I've had opportunities to do like speaking engagement. I've got a few coming up like this month. Like, I've got one coming up this month. Let me not exaggerate it. But like, do you get what I mean? It's really beyond the camera.
It's true.
Beyond the numbers and what you think is impact, you're making impact. And I think yesterday I was going to tweet, but I was busy, you know, trying to sort out the set. I was going to tweet saying something about trust and believe that you are seen. Yeah. Like,
that.
Yeah.
You know what? It's very easy to feel like you're not seen in the space, like, especially when clouds, all these beefs are going on, it's like Twitter space. The ghetto. When you see all that kind of stuff, just getting numbers, you're like, why can't I get a number from just being my authentic self? But there's power in longevity. Because those people don't have the numbers today, and then next year, where are they? You know, so I think it's just good to look at where you are. It's hard, especially when you see people. Like, it's very hard to, of course, you're on social media, you can see people's numbers, but at the same time, you just look at your own journey as well. Look at how you started with zero and where you are now.
Yeah, and just understand that you're impacting people as well. Like,
powerful.
Even if it is one person that's like touched by, you know, your mission. I always say, like, I'm very passionate about media and purposeful in teaching. Like, in all my conversations, all my productions, all my creativity, I want there to be a lesson, you know? Like, even my hair is a statement. Like, I really want, like, young black girls to love their natural look. I do love a curly wig. I do love a straight wig. But I'm very intentional about how I show up in these spaces. Like, that doesn't mean I'll never, like, do a straight look or a curly look or whatever. But I'm very, like, this is, like, my majority... or that this is my default kind of thing. So I'm very intentional, even just everything. You know, that's my life's mission. I think you have a mission statement as well.
My one is to be authentic, to do you and be unapologetic. So I always end my podcast with that. And I feel like it's even helped me. When I started my channel, I was still in the closet. So, you know, so I feel like as I was...
When you started?
And people could tell, but I was not saying it out loud. I was not proud of it, all that kind of stuff. So I think as I went on... what my motto was ended up being my reality as well. I was living that. So I'm so happy to do that as well. So listen, I'm happy and I'm proud of you as well.
Say that. Passionate about media, purposeful in teaching. Life has taught me so many lessons.
Listen, because there's power in the tongue, you know. What you say.
What you call yourself.
Yeah, even the Classic Manny, the name of that's intentional. It's intentional.
If you see the way Classic Manny was smelling today.
Thank you.
He's the classic, man. He's the classic, man.
No, thank you.
Seriously, what you say about yourself matters, and how you see yourself matters. And something I'm trying to overcome, actually, before we kind of close off and, you know, move on, is, you know, getting over imposter syndrome.
Ooh.
And seeing yourself, how God sees you, number one, and then how your biggest fan sees you. Because sometimes you don't see yourself that way. Like, I get like brands approaching me and I'm like, you know, where does it come from? Why would you want to give me this amount to work with you? But understand that, you know, you're meant to be in that space. Like, you're worthy of it as well. You're so worthy. Because I remember, like, I recently just wrapped up my biggest brand deal with a brand. And I remember it's not a coincidence. Nothing is a coincidence. Because I remember I was speaking to my mentor. She's a friend and a mentor. Like, you know, I called her and I was like, I really like where I am, but I believe there's more. I said I believe there's more. Like I believe I can get the bigger brand deals and stuff like that. I'm telling you, not less than a week later, this brand reached out. I didn't pitch, and it's a good idea to pitch. I didn't pitch to them. They found me somehow and just loved my personality, and they were like, "Would love you to." I was like, wait.
Because you know what? Yesterday I was even at Bella's video shoot.
Yeah.
And a girl said something before she left the video shoot. She was like, I want your list, as you said, the fans, myself especially, to be a mirror so you can see how amazing you are. Just like you said, like having people that remind you that you're actually worthy, you're deserving. I hope you know that as well. You're worthy as well.
You're worthy, Manny. Seriously. You have to believe for more. I think. There's this whole thing about, you can manifest anything you wanted. I believe you manifest what God has willed for you. So I think that we need to be careful with manifestation and all of that. Like, it's more about having faith in God's plan for your life. So there's a level of, you need to tap into that of, okay, I believe it's time for me to achieve this now. And I feel like the Holy Spirit speaks to you, all your dreams, all your visions, everything that you want. It's like that's the Holy Spirit tapping into you and saying, you deserve this now. If you have a desire for a relationship, that's God saying to you, your spouse is around the corner, or your partner's around the corner, depending on what you want. We know not everybody wants marriage. You start having dreams. I saw a tweet where somebody was like, him and his friend were driving in the UK and they were like, they would love to live there. That's like the Holy Spirit prompting you, like, that's you. Like, and then you say it loud and then you work towards it, and
That is so beautiful.
That's the kind of manifestation we're talking about, according to God's will for your life. But we thank God for the dream. Yeah,
and like you said as well, you mentioned something about how you doing YouTube has helped with other departments. I feel like even my 9-to-5 jobs, it's actually helped me there, because even my current one, even though I work in trade finance, they asked me to help in marketing. I said, like content creation, all that kind of stuff. I was like, wow, so it helps you in other areas as well. So keep on going. Like, you never know how what you're doing that can help you.
And you guys out there as well, keep on going. But anyway, guys, I always like to ask them a question in terms of chit chat with Mo. So let me think about this. Okay, today's chit chat with Mo. How do you guys at home feel about perhaps downscaling to eventually upscale? What are some of the requirements that you think will help create longevity when you're chasing your dreams, chasing the plans and the visions that you have for yourself and that you believe in some cases that God has as planned for you? When would you say is a good time to give up on a dream? Because sometimes we're not. So somebody the other day said that we have too many motivational speakers. We need some demotivational speakers. Sometimes give up.
Well, it depends on the purpose or your goal. What's your goal? If you feel like you've reached it, okay, to come to an end. Like, Ellen's show. Ellen has done what she has to do. She's packing it up. Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh, yeah,
it's just coming to an end. She's packing it up. Simple.
Even Oprah finished the Oprah show as well.
That was a whole moment right there.
Yeah. So it's like, when is it the time to give up on a dream? At least with Ellen and Oprah, they manifested their dreams. What about when it doesn't manifest? What about when the business doesn't work out? You guys at home, let us know. Along with all the questions I asked as well, when is a good time to give up on a dream? And do you consider downscaling a failure? Let us know in the comment section down below. Manny, where can we find you?
The Classic Man, so THEE Classic Man on Twitter. They got my old account out of here.
Oh yeah.
Last year. I lost it because of copyright.
Twitter randomly, suddenly started getting like
very suspended happy. They said bye. Another one, thank you. So it's the Classic Man on Twitter, the Classic Manny everywhere, so Instagram, TikTok, it's me. And the Classic Manny Show.
Yes. We'd love to tune into your show. Thank you so much, Manny, for joining me on today's episode. Guys, do definitely obviously listen on the podcast app as well. We do upload the audio on there. Thanks so much for watching today. Do make sure if you liked it, share with your friends, comment below on the things we spoke about, and subscribe to this channel for more. Until next time, guys. Until next time, guys, peace and love, peace and chunks.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Manny. I loved it so much. Aww.